Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wandogs.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvinator.
How are you, boys?
We're good, Roy. Oh, it's been the King's birthday today.
You're welcome.
Calvin.
Thanks for the day off, mate.
No worries, guys.
And so we're pretty raw out of the round.
We
are talking about AFL Fantasy from round 13. Our last round with a Thursday night game.
Yes.
Thing, and it was a long weekend. So a fair bit's going on over the last 5 days of football.
Yeah, best 18 again.
Yep.
Best 18 and some big thumping scores. And thanks, Cal.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You nailed your captains this week.
Oh, in a way, dog. In
I
a
thought
way.
they were
Most
good.
of them
Yeah.
were really good.
You
They
looked
were.
after me. I needed you to.
That's it.
And
That's-
you did.
Look,
Thank you.
Roy, you're flying.
Yep.
Dog,
I'm not flying.
Okay,
There's a hat.
I'm not one to
I've flown before.
I'm not one to throw terms around.
Never ends well.
But I've never seen anyone more certain to win a hat.
Exactly.
That's a crime.
right.
No, Roy. Roy.
I've been in this exact position with the exact names before. It doesn't end well.
Some people might say you think you're humble there at the moment, Roy.
No.
You're anything
People
but
are saying
humble.
it.
You're arrogant and stubborn. That's what he is.
Everyone is saying humble.
So you're
Let them have
ranking
it.
of 183 overall now.
Yes.
183rd.
Yep.
Came off the back of your 21-44. Good round.
Yeah, quite happy with it.
183.
No, I am happy with it. I didn't realise, now this isn't being arrogant, I didn't realise that it was going that well. Like,
Okay.
I didn't know 2144 was going to be below par or better than par.
Anyone that has to say, I'm not being arrogant when they are about to be arrogant.
No, I just didn't realise it was going to bump me up the rankings that much.
100.
Look, am I allowed to talk on this? I'm too nervous to talk
Yeah,
now.
I could imagine.
Because you're overanalyzing everything I say. The people are right. I'm humble. I'm just plugging away one
Yep.
week at a time, doing
Okay.
my best.
So you moved up in the rankings, basically halved your ranking.
Yep.
Oh, well done.
Thanks.
I moved up 900 spots off the back of my 2086. Doesn't sound very good. Next
Moved
to
up
yours.
more than me.
Moved up. Well, that must be good then.
Exactly.
So Cal moved up more than me.
Once again, team of the week. I had the team of the week. I went up 1,000 spots.
With your 2033.
Yes, up to 8,200-ish.
Since you flicked that switch, mate.
I know.
Charging.
Oh, slowly climbing is what they say. Definitely not charging.
That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
Now, who just stick it right up and with Cal?
Well, for me, because I missed out on a couple of the big scores earlier on, I had to wait till the Monday game.
Were you nervous?
Oh, was I nervous? No, because Max was the number one captain, 148. 148 for the big guy, bringing it home, chasing down a couple of those other guys who put out monster scores.
Yes.
He didn't quite get there, but he definitely closed the gap.
Saved the day, didn't he?
Did the hype was real, Cal?
That's what he does.
You got that, Roy.
Oh, my goodness. Sam Flanders.
Oh, yes.
So I've been missing VCs, making a complete meal of my captains. And this week, Sam Flanders, 163, 42 possessions, 13 marks, 5 Gold Coast defenders went over 110.
Amazing.
And he just had a field day.
Didn't he ever? It was nasty.
That matchup is just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
The
It
Kilda
is.
matchup, and I think we may talk about that a little bit later, Calvin.
We
I mean, we knew it was there, but he still had to go out there and do it. And he did it.
We didn't see that coming.
Nah.
Now, you want instant reward from your trades.
Yes.
Errol Goulden gave me that 151. It was just a pleasure to have him in my side and a pleasure to watch as he made Sunday feel a lot better.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was so good.
Until the Bombers played later that night.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
You like to get instant reward from your trades. Could have I wanted this anymore to work? Tom Green,
Don't say it. Oh, he did.
77. Mate. And I have told you that.
I said that to you. I don't know if you really want him.
No.
I didn't.
You want Jeremy
all you
Sharp
wanted.
back.
Nah, I traded Jeremy Sharp to Errol Goulden in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
No, don't have to say who you traded. That was Harley Reid. Suspended, mate.
Yeah.
77's better than that.
It is. Oh, it was hard.
Yeah, it was. It was hard to watch him because we were here. It was at Pork Park where he could have actually racked up a few numbers and
Monster Nash was an issue, though.
He was, but he wasn't as bad as what I thought he would be. He just looked a little bit disinterested.
He did.
Then you go and poor old sick dog at the end there. That was just a
Never say poor sick dog.
Heap of frustration out of that one, I reckon it was. And there was a fair bit of frustration from the Warn Dogs in his debut game. Anyway, it is what it is.
All right. I'm giving mine to Steely Green.
You can't do that.
Why? Because he's a rookie?
Yes.
Because he didn't play? Because he's not on my team? It's the only way I could get Jack Steele and Tom Green
Gotcha.
into. I didn't know how to split it, so...
Oh, he's hitting everything.
I was wondering what was going on
He's
there.
going to win a hat. He's
Rock
now
back.
got the confidence to put out D-grade jokes. He's going to win a
Hey, I've
comedy
done that all
festival.
year. Hey, I've been doing that for 15 years, actually. You just took Greenie off me. So, Jack Steele, I'm giving it to.
Oh, he deserves it.
He does. It's just, I expect more. Like, there was spuds out there like Clayton Oliver and bloody Jack McRae. But
there's a lot of bad
it's
players
just, I
in that
don't
team.
expect anything from them.
Okay.
I do from Jack Steele.
He's not the weasel that Cow wants.
No. I'm
going to raise your Oliver and your McRae.
Oh, no.
With Riley Bonner.
Why do you have him?
I don't know, dog.
We all told you to trade him out last
I
week.
don't have that luxury. I had Fife and Harley Reid, so I had to work around
At
those
least they
guys.
weren't losing cash this
Well,
week.
no. Right. 37.
At least
Do you know why I traded him?
Why?
I didn't want another 60.
Oh, Riley.
You got a 30 from him.
No.
37. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't get it.
You
at the
didn't
end.
get Was he actually your lowest scorer out of your squad?
Easily would have been.
So,
Oh, my God.
to his credit, though, and looking long-term job security-wise, at least he took it on board and he didn't have many turnovers.
Well, that's true. All right.
There's another D-grade
Roy.
joke.
Well, I'm fire.
You are up to about.
Strap yourselves in, people.
This could be a long night. Could be a long night. This is normally the point where we look at who the winner of the week was and stuff.
Yep.
Can we even find that?
Don't reckon.
Probably. Let's see what it comes up as. It's probably provisional. Is that what you call it? So currently on top of the ladder, this is before lockouts lifted.
Yep.
Thomas's team, Pom United, sitting up there. So he looks like he's a West Coast supporter. Congratulations.
Well done, mate.
They're usually good over there, aren't
They are very good over
Matt looks like he's won with Sheezel's Cheeses with a score of 22.55. You're not far off that, Destroy.
Oh, I am. 100.
there. Yeah. It's a good score. Well done,
In
mate.
the right direction, old boy.
Yes.
And yeah.
That's a good score, though,
Well
isn't
done.
it? I mean, when you hear these scores, you can't get too deflated yourself because there might be teams setting themselves up for this round.
That's
just
it, yeah.
a weekly
It's
win.
how you
in
look
that
at
round.
the end of the buys.
Yes.
Which is what we've got to think about. And Cow, are you going to be all right by the end of the buys?
No way. No way. I had a look the other day at my team and how many buys and players
What
and all
about
that.
the switch?
Nah.
You flicked?
I flicked it, but it's every time I look at it, someone switched it off. Anyway, I'll be right.
Yeah, you got to have a look at how many players you got on a buy over the next couple of weeks, Cow.
I'm only just worked that out, but thanks for the tip.
Well, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have traded Xerri out for Marshall.
Oh, don't. I will jump over this
You
table.
did that to him.
He didn't he?
Yeah, it was cruel.
I do feel a little bit sorry for you for that, but he's finding ways to burn you, isn't he?
He is.
Week after
He
week.
does.
Oh, yeah. Every
This
week.
week, X is gone at 120 odd.
Yeah.
129 he had this week.
He's had two 120s on me, and Rowan was good this week, but not Xerri good.
He's
No,
not
no,
going 115 in his last three.
Wasn't worth finding 200k to upgrade him.
It definitely wasn't worth
Buying
it.
yourself into a donut
Yeah.
in a couple of weeks' time.
I'll be the judge of that, dog. I'll be the judge of
What?
it.
I'm just
You're
saying.
a bad man because it's your fault he did it.
How is it my fault?
He was in no position to even be looking at trading out someone averaging over 100,
I can't believe I did that.
and you convinced him.
It was a good plan.
Well, yes.
I made a really good trade suggestion the week before. Lured him in. He's gone a trade.
You're a bad man.
I am. All right, the votes are in for the Michael Barlow medal. That's our cash cow of the year for round 13. Bodhi Uwland now, after scoring 89 the week prior, he stepped up his game, taking 13 marks in a totally gnarly matchup against the Saints for a whopping 124 points and the 5 votes.
It was a perfect storm back there. Now the 4 votes go to Billy Dowling for his 89. So one thing I got right was picking up the 200k mid-forward, and I celebrated his debut harder than his family.
21 touches and 7 marks saw Caleb Windsor score 81 and claim the 3 votes.
Not many coaches have got him, but credit where credit's due. So James Borlase had back-to-back 80s, and he claims 3 votes for hitting all the fantasy stat lines, including hit-outs and goals.
Loved it.
Dominated a 3-goal haul in his first game of the season, saw Nathan Kruger score 79 and nab the 1 vote. I'll be targeting him this week with the handy ruck for downgrade option.
All right, nothing has changed at the top of the leaderboard with Jeremy Sharp still on top. Comes back after his bye. Maybe he can add to his total.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy podcast.
Couple of things out of the weekend that we need to think about that might affect some of our decision making. We'll go through the round as it was. So right back on Thursday night, old mate Strawny hurt his groin, so we'll probably see Rob back in, Riley O'Brien.
I think so, yeah.
Why is it an ongoing stitch-up joke that anytime anyone in any form of AFL media has a photo of Riley O'Brien, it is the cruelest thing I've ever seen. Everyone does it to him.
They do.
Unlucky.
It is unlucky.
Prestia. I didn't leave this in here from last week or the week before. Had a tight calf, so that was in there. Rory Lobb hurt his ankle. Probably ankle might not just be the only thing that keeps him out of the side. Now, Keithy hurt his hamstring, so also had a concussion test in the game.
Mercy.
So he copped it a little bit. The old doggies did cop it. McKenna had his ice ankled up. He iced his ankle.
He did. He iced his ankle. Night. There you go.
He got subbed out in the end, so see if he's there for this week in that juicy St Kilda matchup. Reeves down here on Saturday hurt his back. He was subbed out there too. Now, old mate Fisher, this was a worry watching this. You're proud of trading in a player that tons up, and has a good ton. 115, it was nice. Right? Sat on the pine at the end a long time, and the AFL app does its thing, puts injured on him, and oh no, what's he done?
Who's in charge of that?
I reckon there's a sicko there just going, this will hurt a couple of fantasy coaches. Oh, a lot of people trade him in. Let's put it on there.
Yeah.
So I think the thing is, so it was a cramp.
I'm not surprised.
He should be right.
He's not used to having that many possessions.
No. Like 36?
Yeah, something like that. He's killing it.
Do you know, he could be the fish that he is. He could be an axolotl. Do you know they can lose their legs and grow them back?
Hang on.
That's what we need.
Did we talk about that? When did we talk about that?
I don't know, but we shouldn't be talking about it.
Rightio, moving into Dougal Howard. He hurt his hamstring for the Saints. Now the lizard. We love the lizard.
Lose a tail, grow it back?
They can, can't
right.
they?
God, yes.
Yeah, they can.
Yep.
Oh, are they axolotls? Or
don't know.
Oh.
He got off. He was off and was subbed in the 4th after a bit of a heavy collision. In that same game, Shannon Neal, bit of a calf.
What about me? Sorry.
E-grade comedy from Destroy. It's sliding quicker than
what I'm here for, Roy. Keep it going.
Will Setterfield, poor bloke. He was looking pretty good too. I liked.
He was looking good.
Better with him in the side. Just his size.
Here we go.
What?
Dog. Bombers are better with him in the side.
They are.
All right.
Bubbles were all right.
They got thumped. Roy?
By a far better team.
But you what, have you looked? Did you look at the expected scores, the X score?
No.
Bombers won.
Oh, the X score. What on earth is that all about?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You'd be a hater of it. You'd be a hater of the X score.
I am.
Right, where are we up to? Now we come to today.
Yeah.
Bit going on today. A couple of big names there. We'll start with Petrarca.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Ribs. He was subbed out. Sorry, I'm on the telly up there before going off in the
hospital.
Going off the hospital.
It's a big hit, Roy.
It was.
But the big one will be Dacos. So what have we got for Dacos? We know it was a little bit. Now, just getting some late mail in right now. McRae on Dacos in the presser. Thanks, Dayan. He's like our little producer.
Yeah, well done.
Very
well done.
helpful.
cooked in his shin.
Yeah, I know where he got it too, Roy. So at the start, they were saying a calf.
Yeah.
Now, if everyone reaches down to where their shin is,
Yes.
okay, actually go your left shin.
Yeah.
Feel the shin bone, right?
Yeah.
Then go to the left of your shin bone.
That
and
chunky
there's,
muscle
There's
bit.
a little muscle that runs down next to it.
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
He's hit that bit.
Doctor
What does that look like on Jack?
Jack McRae.
Just the same as the top of the trunk.
He doesn't have one, okay?
Now, the question was, he was asked, is he in doubt? I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
If I'm just listening to his words, he said, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lip read actually. A couple of people asked him. Obviously, there was
Yep.
high interest when
Yep.
Dacos gets subbed off, and very cool, calm and collected about it. And
Laughing.
I read those
Yep.
same things.
So it's
No
actually
worries
fine.
that like he's got a bye the next week. Does he just have a 2-week rest?
No.
Or does that
no,
help him
he was-
even more?
No, as Kat said, he was laughing.
Yeah.
He was on the bench laughing.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
No, he's fine. Yep. Play on.
Tags. We saw Jordan go to Stewart. Not a surprise.
No, look.
No,
they're,
that's
Jordan's going to keep doing that.
they're really being painful again. They're
Yes,
back.
They are.
Tags are definitely back. Oh, Chincotta on Merritt. Merritt did well to get to a ton, really.
He did because Chincotta, he's pretty good at it, to be
He's
honest.
nasty.
He is.
Old school.
He is old school.
Old school. Windhager went to 2. Now, that was a big one because
That was
2
huge.
went sub 50.
Yes.
47 even.
And that's an old school tag
Windy's
as well.
brutal at it. Yeah, he's very good.
So, Tags TW, the tag watch is back now. I've got here the TW.
I've written in the TW.
TW.
For this week?
That's this week.
Yeah.
The tag watch for this week.
So,
Right.
Windhager.
Tag watch. This week.
TW,
This week.
TW.
Windhager goes to Neil. So Neil off that back of that 128. He was
Yeah, 'cause
Because
awesome.
he was a good option to bring
He
in this
was.
week.
He sure was.
He gets locked up, I reckon. It is at the Gabba, though, so we'll see how
Locked
that
up.
looks. Now, Jordan Dawson is an interesting one. Surely James Jordan, the Jordans, right?
yeah.
So James Jordan, he's gone to Stewart, Dale, Walsh, and Jordan Clark in his last 4 games. So 3 of those guys are defenders, but Walsh as that inside mid. Does it go to Jordan Dawson?
Yes,
I think it has to.
it does.
Yeah, I'm with you. So that is who I think that goes to this week. And also Liam Shields, who has been tagging. He tagged Horn Francis and Butters. He got Zach Merritt a couple of weeks ago to a score of 78. So he will go to Nick Dacos.
Wounded one too.
Yeah, a wounded Nick Dacos with his shin calf. And that's the first game on Sunday.
Right.
So
Right.
interesting.
Maybe they should say that Dacos isn't playing so they don't plan for it and then put him out there and play. Good idea. That's what I'd do as a coach.
You
Yeah.
are devious.
Yeah.
That's the way to play it.
Yep.
Do you know what I would do?
What?
Put a old school like shin guard, like a soccer shin guard, on the other leg.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
So the wrong one.
Yeah. So
And then
they
they'll try to
kick
run
me
into
in.
it.
Yeah. Then my other shin would be free. My sore shin would
I
be.
like that.
Yeah.
That's a great
Who
strategy.
did that? Someone did
Yeah, I
it
don't
from
remember that.
the Bulldogs.
But was it
He was
like
that-
a more padding
No,
type?
it was a shoulder.
Shoulder.
He strapped the opposite shoulder.
That's a
bloody
smart
awesome.
thing
Tricked
to
him
do.
too.
Oh, that's good.
And they went after it. Went after his good shoulder. Yeah.
like it.
Ling Jong, I think.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Geez, that's winding back the clock.
Yeah, it was very cool and
Yeah.
very tough by him.
No.
I enjoyed it.
There you
yeah.
go.
Anyway, yeah, that's what Nick's going to do. So
Okay.
don't fall for it, Liam. Kick him in the unprotected shin.
So we're heading into round 14 now, which means that we're halfway through our buys. So that's a milestone of some sort, I guess. We've had 6 teams have had their buys. So
Yeah.
now it gets into, I guess, harder rounds of it because there
Yeah.
are 6 teams on their buys. But if you've been playing it smartly, hopefully what you're doing is building your team better over these weeks. And you've only been trading in players that have had their buy. I guess the exceptions are you had to get Billy Dowling. And if you don't
Yeah.
have him like me, you have to get him this week because of what he's going to do.
Yeah. We did say last week that that's our exception.
Yeah.
Like the rookies can be coming up to a bye if they are clearly the best
As
ones.
much as you might have wanted to get your crisp or your
Yes.
day
Yeah.
and you miss them, you just can't do it.
Nah. So following the rule too, as we did and many good coaches did last week, of coming off the bye guys, it would have been hard to stuff up your upgrade targets.
Yep.
Because they all...
Green.
Yeah.
Tom Green was the only fail.
But at least long term, I could.
Yeah.
If I was you, I'd
I
be
hope people
resting
want to
easy
trade
on
him
that.
out.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I'd be resting easy on it because he's a name you want. He's going to come good.
He might end up
You
as
got
my
him-
M9, so he could be my Luke.
Yes,
emergency
exactly.
guy.
But he's going to come good, and you got him for next to nothing.
Yeah.
It's a bargain, and it will pay off at some stage. You'll hit a ceiling score in the next few weeks.
Few weeks.
But
Soon would be better.
yeah, it would be. But be patient with him; he'll be fine. But the other guys that we all targeted, like Errol was number one, Fisher, Whitfield.
Dunkley wasn't good, though.
No, that's true. And Zorko was, slightly down, but
You paid $1 million for a sub-100 score, Roy.
Don't worry,
But you're
Roy.
still winning a hat.
Don't worry what you'll get this week, Roy. We'll make up for it.
I must admit, I did rest a little easy because when I bit the bullet and paid for it, I was eyeing off Friday night VC. Don't want to tread on your toes, but this week I was thinking that is where I'll get my money's worth.
I think you will.
But even so, on 96 or whatever it was, far from a failure, wasn't it? So there was only a couple of misses, but dunks would have been the big one.
So do we want to talk about then this week? We'll talk about our targets coming up, but can we just start with Zorko and what this is all about? So Zorko on Friday night, and that's the first game of the round, so it's where you hit your VC and the treading on toes that Roy says there for Calvin's captains. It's actually probably redundant because it could be game over on Friday night with all you need to do because Zorko is playing against St Kilda. So let's talk about St Kilda as a matchup.
Okay, so this week we saw what Flanders did with that 160. There were 6 defenders in that game take 10-plus marks.
Ridiculous.
There were 5 of them that hit 110. Now, this isn't the first time this happened. So the week before that, Duggan, West Coast, right? He top scored for them with 99. Right, we'll let that go. The week before that, Salem, 133. Then it goes back to the Freo boys who went 141, 126 against the same. There are points.
Yeah.
You cannot avoid it.
No.
It's the easiest matchup in the history of fantasy football.
So the
Big
other
time.
good thing about Zorko is this is back at the Gabba. Okay, so he's played at the Gabba 5 times this year and averaged 133 with 10 marks a game.
Yeah.
All he needs to be in this game is just a tiny little bit thirsty,
Yeah.
and this could be something nasty.
So let me just clarify a few things before we move on. We don't think that Brisbane are going to play that chippy game that Gold Coast did because they are going to have zero difficulty
That was a
getting
horrific
through
game of football.
big time.
That was
so
not
Brisbane are going to have no trouble ripping through that to get it forward, which Gold Coast couldn't get through that wall. All right. So we don't think there's going to be 6 players averaging or 5 players scoring over 110, but you don't need that.
No.
Like you said, picking out the best defenders from those previous weeks all indicate that Zorko in that role is going to be access
so
to,
easy.
130 or 140 probably.
It's going to be so easy if he wants to. And that's going to be the thing. So on that game the other night, he was coming back for the ball. He wanted those little +6s. A couple of times it goes over his head.
Yeah.
And he throws his arm. He discusses.
does.
That's what I want to see on Friday night, Roy.
Yeah. So one thing, he was there standing, waving.
Yep.
But I tell you what, McKenna's flash was catching their eye. So
It was.
McKenna early on, he took a lot of Zorko's little marks, and he unfortunately got subbed out.
Unfortunately, look at him.
May not be playing.
So McKenna took 8 marks in just 64% game time.
Yeah.
So there's extra marks
There
up
is.
for grabs.
Yes, there is.
So there you go.
Hopefully.
He will have
Should
an
be your
absolute.
VC.
You would think so.
Should he be your number one target? Are you still happy to pay your $1 million or whatever he will still be?
I think so.
Yeah.
Or if you were flipping him between him and a Luke Ryan.
All right, so let's start talking him.
Let's throw these guys in the mix as well. So that's Jordan Clark and it's Luke Ryan as well.
Luke Ryan will be a highly targeted player this week. He's
Yes.
is he, we're going to talk your Rollin 22 shortly, but is he your D1?
He is. Yeah.
Wow. So is he a must-have? Is he worth paying $1 million for?
Do you know what? It's just at the moment, he is a complete game changer. I don't know how you can climb ranks or anything if you don't own him because he hits the ceiling scores so often at the moment that if you're a non-owner and you sit back and watch that, it cooks you.
Yeah.
You can't make any ground or get a head-to-head win if you go up against him.
In his last 5 games, he's gone at 136.
How do you compete with that?
You can't.
You can't. You just have to join.
So he's back under the roof. He's been there twice this year already for a 126 and a 98. Okay. And the Dogs, that matchup is great as well.
The thing is as well, another thing in this, the Dockers are actually winning at the moment. They've found their way into the 8, haven't
Yes,
they?
yes.
And they're doing it with Clark and Ryan just going nuts back there, doing their thing. They are happy to kick it between the two until they find their way up the ground. So if they were losing and this was happening, they would probably, something would have to change.
Now, there's a fair price difference between them, but you could argue that what Clark's been doing
Yes.
is definitely worth not spending the extra coin on
Yep.
for. Would you go to Clark before him just because of the cash difference?
Usually I would say yes.
Break even of 49
Yeah,
for Clark.
he's the bargain out of the two. Clark has felt cheap all year despite having a good year, and he remains cheap now. My only fear, Doc.
The scale of tagness.
Yes. So you're
coming.
spot on. If you...
Wasn't that long ago that he faced Jordan and
yes,
struggled?
he struggled big time.
That would have been his lowest score of the season, wouldn't it?
Yep, easily.
And that happens in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Round
It's not
16.
far away.
No. So,
And you can't hide behind a best 18 for that one because
No.
that's the first week after the buys.
so if you are chasing them and you had the cash for Ryan,
Yep.
I'm saying go Ryan. I'm still saying Clark is a good fallback,
Yep.
and I wouldn't pull out of that move just because Jordan's incoming, because he's great and he's going to be good for the rest of the year. That may be a tough week to watch. The thing why you pay up for Ryan as well, though, if you're out of those two, if one's getting tagged, we know Jordan will go to Clark, but other people are going to tag one of them at some stage.
Surely,
It's Clark that gets it.
even just the point of going, are they just more aware of needing to go back to stop Ryan getting the ball so easily because he does set it up. Like it's
He
not,
does. No, I
they
agree.
look cheap because he's on his
Yeah.
own, but he sets up
But
stuff
then,
from back
because he is
there.
a good kick, but no, because Clark is the more attacking one, he's the one that will get targeted.
So, okay, here's the question. So we're going, if you've got the coin,
Yeah.
you go Ryan over Clark.
I think so.
Well, Zorko's in this conversation too.
Yes.
So Zorko or Ryan?
This week would scare the crap out of me as
Yep.
a not owning Zorko
Yep.
on Friday night. You couldn't watch the game, and if you were, you'd be
Probably
at
switch
your
the TV off then.
Well, you'd know because there's always hope with Zork. You'll sit there hoping for a calf
Well, or the fact
or
that,
a vest.
or a vest because they're
What's different in the last 13 weeks?
well, like, and that's it. There's the other thing. They could be up by X
Yes.
amount at half time, and they go rightio.
We say it every week, but it remains relevant with him.
It does, but they've also just had a bye.
Yeah, so it's unlikely.
You wouldn't think so.
He gets a couple more weeks before arrest.
So Zorko or Ryan?
Right, well, this week I project Zorko to outscore Ryan.
Okay.
Long term,
What's your projection range for Zorko? I've heard people say 170 to 210.
Yes, Matty Ash.
it was classic. Long term, it's Ryan. Is your target.
Yep. Because there's still
But then your forwards. There aren't gun forwards.
I know, but Ryan's got a really nice run coming up.
he does
as well.
a juice. Check the scale out, dog.
Yeah.
It's a lot of.
Why do you can't.
No,
You couldn't.
Okay.
If you're splitting those two,
I'm going.
you would have to go Ryan
I'm
over
going
Zorko.
Ryan over Zorko.
I'm going Ryan as well.
And I've probably got I do have the choice, I guess.
Yeah.
Zorko will have a rest in between now and round 24.
Yeah.
That will happen.
Yes.
Okay. It hasn't happened yet.
No.
But it probably will happen.
And he'll have that soft tissue, and he'll have that vest, and he'll have that. But none of it's happened.
And the sky will fall down. Yes.
Okay, let's look at some other players then. Well, let's stick with the Freo boys. Could I interest you in Chapman at 561?
Only for the desperate. And he's cheap. 561 coming off a 91 and an 88. 15 marks in that. So he's getting involved in a little bit of
He is,
chippy time. And that's against Collingwood and Melbourne.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's
Only
been.
so much ball to go around.
Well, like he's highly touted. They rate him.
Body's an issue. If
It
we've
is.
got question marks on
It's
Zork.
it's a no for me.
It's a no for me. But at that price, like he's about 100 and a bit less than like a McRae if you wanted to do some shuffling.
Yeah.
So that's their.
So you could still call him a buy play, can you? Like, are we able to hide behind that?
Well, he's had his buy.
Yeah.
But then what else have you got? You've got. Could you have Ryan, Clark, Chapman, and Young in your back line?
No. Well, yes, you could. The
Three
way
out
they play at the
Dockers.
moment.
Like, I mean, we definitely can have 3 of them.
Yep.
Okay, what about Shees then? Is he still an option? Still turning up, playing that midfield role?
Yes. Well, what did we say? Last week we said, look, in that role, he's a 105 guy.
Had about
I think
that,
we
didn't
were
he?
like 1 point off. So he lived up to exactly what we thought.
Yep.
Albeit a pretty easy matchup to hit his 105. But yes, he's still an option if you just want a serviceable guy you don't have to worry about back there.
Well, Cow doesn't have him. So, like, is he a target for you, or are you going to fight that one?
No.
You folded on Heen.
I did fold on Heen. Apologies, everyone. Ragnar, I am sorry. I did fold on that one, but I'm happy to let Shees go. I think defenders, there's so many good options out there, whereas Heaney in the forward line, I think, is a bit of a no-brainer. Interesting on Shees, CBAs were down this week compared to previous, so...
What, was it more time spent forward or...
Not sure where it was, but that was with...
That was an interesting game. They were really good up there too.
So Simpkin coming back in after a few weeks off. We'll talk about him in a minute, but yeah, 65% of the CBAs obviously pushed Shees out a little bit.
So Heaney then, as an option, tick?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, there's still some value plays there, and we are looking for these players off their bye. Fisher,
Tick. Still value.
as long as that cramps all right.
Still value. He's gone 111 now since his vest.
Since we traded him out.
111.
Far out.
Where's-
Glad we got him back.
I know.
'Cause that would have
I
been
know.
hard. And we've done it with Sexton and
Bit
Fisher.
now, yeah.
And look what they've both put out, 130 and 115.
Yep.
It feels dirty.
It does.
I feel dirty, Roy.
And 5 years ago, it would have gone against absolutely everything we stood for in this game.
So do you know why I feel clean, not dirty about it? Because we were onto this stuff at the start of the year.
Yeah.
Our pre-season, as stupid as it sounded, we were saying, get Fisher, get, who else was it? The other dude
Sexton.
back there? Sexton.
Yep.
These names that we'll forget about.
Yeah,
soon.
100%. And now we're seeing why. It's happening.
It is.
So
is,
get them
definitely.
both back, yeah. Good job.
You're sending well, Roy. That's why you're going to win a hat.
Come on, Roy, you
How
got a
well
hat.
are you set? Because you won't be shopping in these areas, unlike us.
No.
I'm a
Jy Simpkin.
Gucci or something.
Okay.
And for anyone following us live, but they're not, lockout has just lifted.
Right. Jy Simpkin. Roy?
No.
Okay. He had 132.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It's massive. It's awesome.
Yep.
No. I don't think we can. How cheap is he?
He's cheap. So he is 530.
What?
There's a 5 in front of his
That
name.
cheap?
Yes.
Oh, my
For someone
God.
that can score that.
Okay, so now buy plays are still a thing when we've got 2 hard ones to come. Oh, he's a body on the ground. Okay.
So he had increased
Tell me
CBAs.
why this happened.
Increased CBAs
He's been
last
hopeless.
week. He has. Oh,
Really bad.
before last
But he had
week.
a quad, so he's been off for a month with a quad injury.
Yep.
Right.
And
Had
befo-
concussion at the start of the season.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Is that what you're
awful.
trying to say? Sorry.
Yeah, and before that,
I'm the news guy, man.
leading into that game last week, he was averaging 57. Now, there's no vests in there.
It's
That's
a bad
just
roll.
a straight 57.
So he played a lot forward in that time,
Yeah.
didn't he? So
And
how
he's coming
what-
back from that concussion too. Like, I think he was...
Same here. Yeah, he wasn't himself.
But
What
even-
percentage CBAs did he have?
So 65 this week.
65.
But back when he was
behind-
averaging...
What, behind Shees,
So it's behind...
Wardlaw,
Same
LDU.
as LDU. Wardlaw had the most, and then basically LDU and Simpkin had equal the same.
second
Second-
slash third banana.
Equal second banana is what we say.
Or a banana split.
Banana
Hey!
split. Well done, dog.
Good by
I'm going to
you.
start climbing the rankings like
Roy,
Roy
where
now.
were you?
He trod on my toes there. I think he's got me with call of the whole
He does,
podcast.
he does. So there was a was a banana split. Well
Damn
done, dog.
it.
But I just don't back when he was
That's a good
averaging.
one.
It was awesome.
Now you let it go, all right? You don't keep coming back.
I've got to keep going back to the
You know
well.
what he'll be like.
I've got to go back to the well.
He'll just keep coming back. All right. Even when he was averaging 57,
Yeah.
right, He's had a game there with 60% CBAs, 54%, 36%. Like, he's been in there.
Yeah.
He's just been playing dodgeball.
He has.
So you're not ticking that off.
I don't think I can, but I didn't realise there was a 5 in front of it.
Yeah,
It's very cheap.
That's a bit of a game changer. Yes, he's well and truly in the mix with that. Now, yeah, I did not realise that.
All right, another name I'll throw at you that is also cheap, and it's going to be Peatling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm more drawn to Peatling, but that's a stupid position to be in, really.
So we had a 98
Yeah.
last week against the Hawks. You make a fair bit of money from going a McRae to Peatling. McRae he's not getting 98s, Roy.
So what's the price difference then between Peatling and Simpkin?
Okay, I'm trying, before lockout, because my numbers aren't quite refreshing, it was only like 30 or 40K.
Well, Simpkin, he's the captain, isn't he?
Yeah.
I've kind of got to back the captain in rather than someone that gets vested and
Well,
dropped.
that's the problem, isn't it? Like
Peatling, I've seen him play well before and then be in the vest or drop the next week. I've backflipped on this. It's Simpkin over Peatling. I came into the pod thinking Peatling.
So if you were choosing, if you were desperate in this price bracket,
Yeah.
you would go Simpkin over Peatling.
He might. I think he's going to become my random inclusion of the week for a Monday, Simpkin. I think you've twisted my arm on him.
Well, he had 132.
I know there was a week earlier in the year where McRae had pumped a 130.
He did. But listen to this.
Jumped
he had
on that clown.
28 touches, 5 marks, 7 tackles, 2 goals.
It's a huge stat stuffer.
That's a massive day. I'm with you. Like, if we're fishing around people at this price, you've got to be ready because it's a dangerous thing to do.
It is. But given that we need someone who's completed their bye, I actually don't mind it for a 2-week play. I don't think you'd want him beyond that.
No, I wouldn't
Like
think
this
so.
130 is not a reflection of what we can expect moving forward.
No. All right. What about Boak? It's 707. That's getting up there.
Look, he had some great form leading into his bye. He had a bad one recently, didn't he?
He did, yes.
In the very last one, was it, before his bye?
Yes, as you said, he was dominating. He had like a 107 and a 115, and then it's a 70.
Oh, he got to 70.
It's a
It wasn't
70.
even a disaster
And
in the
it
end.
was against Carlton.
Oh, so it's another 100 basically.
So, yeah. But it's 707. We're not doing that, I don't think.
It's a no, not if you've got people like Simpkin,
Yep.
150k less.
And the obvious one is we all need Billy Dowling, don't we?
I think so.
Yeah, so you guys went the week early?
Went
Yep.
early, only because Cal had told me about
Well,
his scoring potential.
This is so.
Hey,
if
I've got it
Roy's
there.
swagging around with your hat, Cal's swagging around with screenshots from his little photos. The amount of effort you must have gone to go and find your footy
Okay.
record to go and take the photo of it.
So I think it was the 2023 footy record.
Yeah.
I remember talking about Billy Dowling as a keeper, right?
Yeah.
I had to write a keeper section.
Yeah.
Pick number 43. Dowling is a genuine ball winner and a stoppage specialist.
Oh,
These are
nice.
my words, by the way.
Specialists.
In his 12 games in the sample under-18 competition,
Cherry picking stats.
he had 40-plus disposals on 2 occasions, all up averaging 31 and 125 points. But basically, I'm going to say he'll play a bit in the sample, but a future pig in the making. Now,
Wow.
Great call.
He's averaging 89 for his career. That's pretty good.
well, you wait and see. He'll be better than that. And he came home strong in that last quarter. Roy.
He did. Your memory, though.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
When I
You don't have a memory from
No.
earlier today. What did you have for lunch?
couldn't tell you.
That's just fascinating that
Yeah.
stayed in there.
Just stuck in there. So I told you.
Well done.
Yeah. The switch has been flipped.
Good work.
Something
But
like
yeah, Dog, he's a prime example of one that's got a buy coming up.
Yeah.
But
You
he
could go
is
there.
the one to get. It's
So is
not
that-
going to stop you getting 18 on field, is
That's
it?
a bit like Kruger, for example.
Yes.
So Kruger as that option, Cal, like you're considering that because that can cover for your max this week,
Yeah.
which would be handy.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be awesome, but he's only got North Melbourne this week, Kruger.
Yeah.
So
What did he kick for?
I only got North Melbourne. X. Xerri.
Oh.
If he has to rack against him, he's not racking against him, mate. I was just going to say, I just wanted to remind you that you don't have Xerri anymore.
I'm very well aware I don't have Xerri.
Stop bringing up Xerri.
120, 129 is what he's had. I won't sleep tonight. Kruger, what
Don't worry, you'll forget by then.
Yeah, I will. Forget what? Kruger got to 79.
Yeah.
79 with a bag of 3.
Yeah.
So he's done all right.
He has.
Don't you remember that from the Michael Barlow medal votes?
Could not remember. Who read that out? Did I read
I
that?
think you did.
Did I do that?
I don't know.
Can't remember who read anything. Monday games really hurt us. Have we talked to midfielders?
Just life in general. Well, only the obvious.
Yeah.
Goulden has to be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And then who are we liking next? Because
Well,
the rest of them...
You don't want to buy into Butters at the moment. You've got a couple of weeks to wait for Rosie.
Yeah. Sarong's just a safe guy,
Yeah.
isn't he? Like, for
Does
someone
he
like
excite
me...
you, though? To
No, but
bring
when
in?
I've got someone like Jack Steele,
Yep.
like I think maybe when the time comes, him to Sarong would be a beautiful upgrade, wouldn't it? Sometimes boring is safe and great.
Can be okay.
Dunkley is going to be better than what he did.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's a 110 guy. And yes, it would have been disappointing to bring him in for that 79. Only 2 marks in that. Now, he has the ability to take marks. So when the Suns, in that Suns game where Zorko went off his head, didn't leave the ground, Dunkley had 151 with 11 marks.
Yep.
Now, if Dunkley turns up to this game with a little bit of thirst, Roy,
Yeah.
he will have double-figure marks
Yeah.
and he will reward you
Yeah.
with a big score against the Saints.
Yeah. Fair.
That's fair.
But
All right.
as for Rosie, as you said, Dog, break even of 158. He travels up to the land of the Giants this week. So I think we can wait one more, and then he's going to be so cheap. So cheap.
All right. Let's talk about on the chopping block, the players that we are trading. And this is all done with no official maths.
No.
So we're using our brains a little bit here.
Oh.
I'm out.
I'm going with Stewart, Oliver, McRae out. So players that I actually thought might have been players that stayed in my side to bring in Luke Ryan, Jy Simpkin, and Dowling because I missed out on him. So I guess they're the guys that I need to grab. They're all players coming in that have had their bye.
Yeah.
Getting rid of players that have got a bye coming up.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm playing it.
Yeah, fair call. So my outs are Oliver, McRae and Freya. And like you, I'm bringing in Luke Ryan because I need to be a part of it. I've got Simpkin there to bring in, but I'm not convinced yet.
Yep.
And also Kruger is a bit of a downgrade.
Might be Peatling for you, Roy.
Well, it's Peatling or Simpkin at this stage.
Yeah, how are you doing? How'd your number crunching
We're
go?
not real well, Dog, but I've got Boner and McRae and Freya out at the moment, and I'm joining the Luke Ryan party.
Yeah.
I think we all need to be involved in that. And I'm with you, Roy. It's Simpkin at the moment.
Yeah.
And Kruger gives me the coin to do that. So, it's a tricky one. And that last one there, I just feel like we're throwing that forward spot around a
Yes.
bit. So, yeah, very, very unsure on that.
Well, we'll be back on Thursday for our round preview video
Yes.
where we've had a bit more time to digest the trades.
Sharpen it up a little
and
bit.
see what they look like as we try to, get ready for this round 14. Still 3 trades, but it doesn't start until Friday. So we've got a little bit of time to get organised.
Perfect.
All right, Roy, we haven't done this for a while. So we are rolling. We are looking at your Rollin 22. People want to know who are... a quick explanation, I guess.
Yeah.
We're trying to hit the players that you want to have in your side for the end of the year because you believe they'll be the top of their lines.
Yeah, 100%. And despite what, a few naysayers out there say, the criteria and the maths behind this and the spreadsheets, basically, I take my heart out of this and...
Just let the numbers speak for
them-
themselves.
Yep, and then I tweak it because I know more.
You've got to go the vibes.
Yeah, 100% I do. So anyway, this is how it spat out this time. So in defence, Ryan, Dacos, Sheasel, Martin, Clark and Crisp.
Wow.
It is an elite crew of talent. The big omission is Hayden Young, who has done nothing wrong but I cannot.
So imagine
bump
14
him.
weeks ago saying
Yeah.
that you'd have Hayden Young outside for Jordan Clark.
Yeah,
Even just at the
and
at
the
their
thing
club.
is, you could, if I went and pressed refresh right now, I tell you what, Youngie and Clark could justifiably swap over because the recent form criteria was a little bit heavily weighted, which has got Clark just in there over Youngie.
Yeah, there are some sort of fantasy things where if the wind's blowing one way,
Yes.
it might get you extra points.
Definitely. So Youngie, big apology, justifiably in there. You could cut probably Clark to get Young. All right, into the midfield. Errol has gone up to number 1.
Has to.
I have been trying to get him there all year, flirting with it, pushing him up, but then he's dropped, some subpar little stretches in my face. But finally now, so that's 116, 119, 150 in his last 3. We are rolling to the end of the year with Errol in massive form. Merritt 2, Dawson, Walsh, Sarong, Dunkley, Treloar,
Well, yeah,
old school,
deserves it.
Yeah.
killing it.
Yeah.
And then Bont is bumping some really form players. But
Bont's lucky to
unfortunately,
be there.
hey, it's my name criteria gets a fair bit of weight, and Bont's a big name, both in letters and ability. Into the ruck. Max is clear number 1. Number 2. Xerri.
No, you don't. What are you doing?
I
No.
can't help it. It's out of my hands. It's my 22, but
No.
it's the computer.
The
Computer's having a laugh as well.
the small amount of credibility this segment had, right, has gone out the window.
It's still Marshall. I just wanted to get a bite out
Right.
of you.
Well,
But
you got
I'll tell you
one.
what, he's knocking on the door.
He's knocking all right.
Marshall needs to pull his finger out. Into the forward line. The forward line, all of a sudden, I'd walk in quite comfortable to
confident
be
with it. Yep.
associated with them
Yep.
because all of a sudden they're kicking some serious backside. So Flanders is number 1. Heaney's number 2, Zorko number 3, then Fisher and Sexton. They're our boys that we wanted there from the start, and they're finally in the role we thought they'd be, and they're killing it. Now, F6 is the one where there's a blanket, and a few of the boys are under there. Oh, pick me, Roy, yeah. Caldwell's got it at the moment.
Okay.
But there's people like Bakes in the mix, and,
Yep.
there's a few there that would be worthy of that spot, but Caldwell's the one that's got it at the minute.
There you
Thoughts?
go. I'm happy with that.
It's looking pretty good.
I really thought you were going to put Xerri in there, though.
He's knocking on the door. But no, he's not quite in there yet. Monster Marsh is still in there.
Well, and only just, too. I hope you heard this and get a little rocket, Roy.
Yeah, well, it was a little indirect rocket.
All right, Roy's rolling 22. It's always a ripper. We might check in with that again later in the season.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy official.
All right, let's hit up a few questions before we go to sleep, boys, because it has been a big weekend and a big day for our fantasy football stuff.
Mate, I've got to start writing out
I know.
once we finish this.
Got a bit of work to do.
Holy hat.
Yep.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's hit up some questions. We have these all over the place, so you might hit us up on our Instagram feed. If you're not there yet, at AFL Fantasy, trying to get to 20,000 people on there.
Oh, yeah?
It's getting close.
Trying to catch up to our OnlyFans.
Yours. After you'll have a subscription-based thing, I reckon, once you've got your hat.
Oh, yeah.
Those hats are us.
Yeah, I
Coming
can
for
make
some
a second page.
You
Why
could do
not?
a calendar.
sneaky tips from Roy. All right. Jacob wants to know, can we launch into Toronto
I won't be leaving my hat on, but could we do that?
after his bye?
I don't know. Have another...
900.
Yeah.
How much is he?
900.
Nah.
Not before his bye. We get another look at him. So he has...
He had a
obviously-
108. That's
Yeah.
his first game back.
Yeah. So Hawthorn this week, and then he's got the bye, and we'll talk about it after that.
Yeah, so let's just...
Don't buy a premium
Nah.
when they've got a buy to come.
I on the eye, he did look great.
He did.
What price? So we wouldn't be buying into that with his buy coming up, but off his buy, what price would you go? Yep, you just lock that in. He's way too good. to be that cheap.
Yeah.
See, I don't love him at that price.
At 900,
to
I
be
don't love it.
honest.
No.
And that's where he's going to be.
You'd almost need a 7 at the front to be keen on launching,
I
wouldn't
think
you?
so.
That low?
Break even 102. This will be where he is after the bye.
Yeah.
That's a no.
If he can get it going, though, because we know how well he can score.
Can be a beast.
I don't know. Yeah. I just think there might be better options, but he could be that unique one. But you know where unique can get you?
Yes.
Dunkley instead of Goulden. That's 70 points difference this week.
Yeah. You just should. That's why it's a dangerous game splitting your pick by
If you're trying to
ownership
get something
percentage,
Yep.
isn't it?
It's a lonely
But
island.
That's a no for now, but we'll check in after his bye.
What about, well, here's your Rollin 22. He's not in the top 3 because Darcy wants to know, is Toby the Tank a top 3 ruck? He must be close.
Well, he's knocking on the door. He always knocks on the door. Big
you just
Yank.
would never launch into him, though, would
No,
you?
no. He's a very good player.
Great for your draft league.
And he'll be great this week as well because Reeves is out, Meek
Yeah.
is back, and they've been posting
Yeah.
big scores on old Meeky.
Big Nank, he wins people draft leagues.
He's so good.
Yeah.
It's a good question for Calvinator. DJ wants to know, who goes first, Oliver or Soligo?
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. You're in the same boat as me.
The Titanic, it's called.
It's not a good boat to be on.
No.
The boat doesn't have a toilet. You just got it's a stinky boat.
It is.
Who goes first? I've got a feeling that. I don't know if I can answer this. I think Soligo goes first.
Has he been that bad? I haven't been watching
Yeah.
him, but I watched Oliver today, and I'd have him walking the plank that quick.
Yeah. No, Soligo, he's had plenty of opportunities.
He has.
77 on the weekend, although that was probably better than what Oliver whipped up.
It was 67, I think he had.
Yes. So, yeah. But no, Oliver goes first. There you go.
Yeah.
Oliver goes first.
I think that's fair.
There you go. Do it.
A few questions have come through. LDU, final verdict. What would you do with LDU? Would you bring him in?
What's his price at now?
Where'd
He'd
he
be
get to?
850. No, more.
LDU, 851. Break even of 90. He's gone 108 in his last 3.
And he was all right.
Yeah, you got a 96.
Easy matchup.
Yep, it was an easy matchup.
Collingwood and Melbourne to come in the next 2.
Well, yeah, you could do it. He's a
that-
100 guy.
Yep, at that price you can do it.
Yeah.
850.
Yeah.
Bales wants to know, why couldn't Goldstein score 94 when I had him?
Oh, no.
Bales.
Yes, Bales. Great question. That is just fantasy 101,
Isn't
that
it?
is.
Yep.
We've got that. Oh, yeah. We've got the option here from Brett. Is it Luke Ryan or Sarong this week?
Ryan.
Yep.
Ryan, all day.
Ryan wrecks more non-owners weekends than Sarong does.
What did I wrote it down here today. Like someone like Sarong in his last 4 games has scored between 101 and 107. Like it's good, but it's not great.
I think in his last 5, I wrote last week that one of those were over 110.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None below 100.
It's not exciting. I've got him.
And meanwhile, Luke Ryan, 136 in his last 5.
Yeah, it's Ryan.
Yep.
Sam's got this one. Going up to Clark or Ryan, who are the best downgrade options to get there? Looking at using Oliver, Closey and Wilson or McRae in there. I guess if you don't have Dowling, he's up there.
Yeah.
Kruger's there as well. But
Yeah.
I guess we just have to almost wait and see if there's someone coming off one of these buys, which is probably very unlikely.
Very unlikely.
It is unlikely, isn't it?
Which is why we need to just grab these guys while we can.
Yeah. And if they're not there for you for that round 15, like those 2 examples
Yep.
are, they're rookies.
Yep, so be it.
Hopefully you've got premiums that
When do the Giants play
this weekend,
this weekend?
Saturday or Sunday is my guess.
Because McMullen.
Oh, they played last game Sunday.
Oh, against the Dons, isn't it?
Oh,
Is it? Is that right?
No, against Port.
Port. Oh, that's why I was thinking. Port.
because McMullen keeps getting massive points per minute.
Yeah.
If he wasn't in a vest,
Yeah, he'd be a look.
Oh, Bombers got the bye. I forgot that. No pain this week. That's good.
anyway,
So
he'd be
McMullen's,
one.
he's 290.
Yeah,
Like he's a nice price that you could get into quite easily.
yeah.
Okay, we're talking about Simpkin as a stepping stone type play. John wants to know, is Bodhi Uwland an option there? He's got a bye coming up.
he's had his matchup versus the Saints, but
He's had 2 great scores in a row.
bloody oath he has.
He's a straight defender, 543k.
No, he's still the rookie, and he's at the stubbornness of us, but
Break even of 7,
What's he up
He's
to?
been good.
500.
543.
Oh, he's just a bit too much now.
I guess
think
some of
so.
the things, and Jacob's got this one here, he's Bodhi Uwland an option post by. If Powell stays out of the side, last 3 average of 90, good half-back roll with Sexton and Flanders. Well, it is, but you've got Powell to come into that mix because I'm sure he will be back in.
Yeah.
So Will Powell got suspended, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's back round 15. So no, I'm not ticking it off, Roy.
No, I
Unfortunately.
don't think so.
Leo, when do I end the utterly unbearable torture and get Max Gawn in? Feel like I'm jumping off a cliff after watching a Melbourne game.
Yeah.
He is like we should make a list. Top 10 players you had to have to start the year. Max is in that list.
He's just turned into the bargain that we hoped.
Yep.
Like we were talking 110.
Yep.
He's going 120.
He's
plus.
going. He's
And
going.
he's R1 by a margin, isn't he? Really?
By Daylight is second.
Yep.
Xerri second.
Well, X is third after Daylight.
Right. Listen. Here's the thing. We go on about how good Jordan Clark and Luke Ryan have been. So they've gone at 140, 137 in their last 3. Max has gone at 141. He just takes it to a new level.
God, why did he burn us so bad when he played West Coast?
Don't know. Don't know, Roy.
No, but Max, yeah, God, that would be a hard watch, not having Max.
Fix it up. Fix it up.
You better.
There's a way to fix it.
There is. You just need to match these good guys that everyone has. I don't think you can take it on this year. You can't keep taking on Max. You can't keep taking on Zorko. You can't keep taking on Ryan.
Flanders, all these guys that
They
most
just-
people have got already, but you just can't do it.
No, you just need to get them.
Join the party.
Hayden's got this one. Who is more of a priority, Heaney, Goulden, or Clark? Can only get one.
I'd be going Errol.
Errol.
Got him number 1 in
It's
the...
Goulden number 1
Yeah.
out of all those guys.
We have talked about that forward status, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt.
As you said before, there's a few more names there now.
But other midfielders,
They're a bigger issue.
they're a bigger issue.
They
So
are.
get the absolute
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
You have a look what your midfielders scored this week
Yeah.
compared to your other
Yeah.
positions.
So even if you look at the Rollin 22 there, look at the mids that sucked. So 2 weeks ago, Dawson, I thought he must have a busted foot. He had a 60. Walsh is coming off a 70. Dunks is coming off a 60. So,
So you rank the players here on average. It goes ruck, defender, forward, defender, mid, and that's Sarong. Forward, ruck, mid, and that's Walsh. Like, it's ridiculous.
the mids are our biggest issue.
They are, yes.
The sooner we can get all defenders in there, the better.
And that's on like the season average.
Yeah.
And that would support, your Sarong and your Walsh a little bit better than form.
Yeah.
Defoe J. Is Tom Green a trade? Love your work, lads. The GOATs.
Look, I think he's a lot better than this, and he's going to come good.
Just
and
gotta hold it.
With that price that he currently sits at, I think he'll be back to 100 this week.
You've probably got, like, if you've got Oliver there, he's a bigger priority to move.
Yes. I just feel like Tom Green
Yeah.
is... I had him top 4 at the start of the year.
Yeah.
So he started the year 145, 120. Got
Yeah.
everyone off to a great start. Has his bye. Since round 4, he's gone at 83. Now, there is an injured 7 in that, we need to note, but
Yeah.
83.
What's his draw like coming up?
So he hasn't hit a ton in his last 5. Coming up, he's got Port Adelaide, which are
Oh, great.
a red team for midfielders, into Sydney.
Oh, my God. Yes, do it,
Then he
mate.
travels to Adelaide.
Do
then he's
it.
got Carlton.
I'm joining you.
And then he's got Richmond. Bring him back.
I'll get him back for that
Round
one.
18.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's not a good run. Not a good run at all.
Oh, my... Dog, what were you thinking last week?
Where were my mates to help me
I
out?
don't know.
I had to go through with a bit.
It was because you kept going on about that sharp thing.
Oh, didn't he ever?
You should have stopped me.
We tried.
We did actually tell you last week. We flagged that last minute.
Should have got Simpkin instead. God. Rightio. Well, that's it, boys. Well done on getting through this, and good luck as you're planning towards round 14. Now, did you know this was our 700th episode?
Yay!
As the traders on AFL.com today.
700.
Far out. That's
Pretty
massive.
cool. 700 episodes of this podcast.
Imagine how many times I've sat here listening to you blokes and just zoned out over
Well,
700.
you've zoned out a fair bit tonight. You're there.
average of
You're
twice
just sitting there eating your jubes. Mate, you're on a podcast. You can't hear.
Did you know? So dog gives me
Chewing.
sugar just to keep me going.
I know. I hear you.
Yes.
It's right in my ear.
Chewing in
That's
it.
all right. Hey, you got to take me as I come.
Yeah, exactly. We've had to do that for 700 episodes. So I don't know if we'll have 700 more in us, but
So that's a big effort. Well done,
That's
mate.
just about due for a pay rise.
well done, boys. And thanks very much for you for listening, because we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have people listening.
Without you, we wouldn't be getting a couple of million listens a year.
That's right.
Exactly.
So thanks.
That's right. Exactly. No, we appreciate it. And yeah, fair bit more to come. So make sure you're tuning in. Actually, midweek, there's going to be a good little special bonus podcast dropping. But on Thursday night, live, AFL Fantasy Live for the teams.
Stress-free.
Stress-free. There's no game on straight afterwards. So, and if you don't get it live, catch it on the podcast. You've got all day to listen to it leading into Friday
People
night
have been
footy.
talking about the playback.
So,
I didn't even know it was an option, dog.
But appreciate everybody jumping on board and having a listen. Good luck as you're working towards your round 14 trades. All the regular stuff will be there, like the stock take and fantasy ready.
Yes.
Actually, is that coming out Thursday or Friday, Cal?
I'm assuming Thursday. What's on Thursday?
Oh, there's no game now.
Yeah, no, she's out Thursday, mate.
Is it?
That's the way it rolls.
Need you. Yep.
Well, that's when the people expect it.
That's
that's
it.
when they want
get
it.
And that's when they'll get it.
Thanks so much. Good luck with your moves and appreciate you listening. And we'll see you later.
Yes,
Good
we
luck.
will. And happy trading.
Good sign off.
Yeah.
Bye. Bedtime.